Welcome to an insightful conversation with the late Irfan Khan, a celebrated actor known for his profound impact on cinema. In this 2015 discussion with Lakshmi Prachuri, Irfan explores the mesmerizing effect of storytelling, his personal anecdotes, and his undying love for adventure. Despite his passing in 2020, Irfan's legacy continues to inspire through his words on embracing challenges, the magic of cinema, and the connection between storytelling and human experience. Join us as we pay homage to a remarkable talent whose stories and characters have left an everlasting mark on audiences around the globe.
Right now, you're known mostly all around the world for playing the billionaire in the Jurassic World, and for Life of Pi, and for Lunchbox. But actually, and of course, all the awards you're getting all around the world, etc. But this is a 1988 Salaam Bombay film. It's one of the first films that you've done.
Right.
You've been doing this, but the recognition has come in maybe the last 10 years.
Right.
So as but your work, your dedication, your interest is the same. So in what way has people's behavior toward you changed in the last 5 years?
When I started, people used to consider me as a good actor, but I could see that I am not ruling their heart. I am not creating a spell in their heart. They are not carrying memories. They know that he's a good actor. They used to have a respect for me. But I could feel that they never used to carry that experience of my stories or my characters home. That was the main difference when I started getting my kind of stories, when I had the confidence to put my own interpretation to the characters. And then there was a kind of, world I started creating, and that started impacting people's intellect and their emotion. That was the time I was waiting for.
Yeah. This is the Warrior film. So you talked about your turning point. In what way was this film for yourself a turning point?
I was doing television, a lot of television, and most of the television was verbal drama. There was no behavior in it. It was mostly informative drama where you have to tell the audience what's going in your head, what you are thinking, everything you have to verbalize.
Very literal.
Literal.
Yeah.
Like, a housewife can be in the kitchen, but still if she's hearing the television, she could follow what's going on. She doesn't need to look at it,
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a kind of limitation, and I used to struggle with it. Whenever I used to go for the shoot of these series, sometimes the producer used to get bugged. They just wanted me to, blurt out lines, as fast as I could, so that, they can save money in the editing, they can save money otherwise as well, They didn't want any kind of behavior. Even if sometimes I used to think that, this guy shouldn't look like this, it should look somewhere, somebody else. They used to dissuade me, because everything costs money.
Right.
So I was getting frustrated, and at that time, this story came to me, and at that time I felt how things sometimes follow you, and they give you what you are looking for. I was looking for a story where I could behave in that story, where I don't need to rely on lines to communicate. And this story came to me, and I was reluctant to go because the casting director told me there's a guy from London, and he's looking for a actor who can play warrior. Now I know my physicality, and I said, no, I'm not going there because he must be looking for a bodybuilder kind of person, and I don't fit in. He said, no, please go and meet him. And the time I entered the room, I had some feeling. I met this director, Asif Kapadia, and then we started talking, and then we kept on talking, and I had a feeling that there's something waiting for me here.
Yeah.
And then the process started. And at that time, I was also indulging myself in production. So whatever money I earned, I have already invested in some pilots, and they were supposed to be approved. So I did the shooting of this film for 2.5 months, and then there was a kind of a spell of this story. This is the first time I experienced what a story can do to an actor, how it grows on you when you are continuously shooting a story, or when you are, continuously dealing with that character, how that character, that story create a spell on you. And it becomes a part of your experience. It becomes real for you. And at the end of the shoot, my wife came to the shoot, and she was worried about the money which we have already invested in television. And she was saying, what do we do about that? And suddenly something said from inside me. I said, just forget it. Life is showing me some path. Let me follow it. I don't care how much money I put there. I know, I have seen production. I am not made to deal with that kind of life. I cannot become a producer where I have to think I have to think about money, how to save money.
Where you have to tell your actors to talk fast so you can save money.
Exactly. So that this film showed me a path, and I just followed it, and my life changed after that.
Yeah. So do you find there is a difference between, maybe it's being too general, or is that the movies in the West versus movies that are made here, is when you work with Ang Lee to make Life of Pi, or is there a certain way of developing a character that's very different than when you work here, or is it just with the director? Like, there's one more thing of Maqbool, which is also another film. In the Indian cinema, that's one of the things that was really very powerful character that you played, or a powerful story. So is it that the particular director you get, or in the East versus West, are there different ways that we make films that make you an actor in a different way?
See, there are a few differences, and they are very, very important differences. Like, sometimes in our industry, we are the center of the story is the image of the star, and all the departments serve that image. All the characters around him serve that image. The films which I do in Hollywood, there the center is the story, the power of the story. You can take anybody, from Tom Hanks to everybody, all the big stars, they are serving the purpose of the story, not the image of the star. So that changes everything, because all the departments are working towards communicating that idea, that story, and people bringing their own reflection, their own experience of their life to enhance that story, not about serving a particular image, or star's image. If you are not doing a conventional work, if you are not following conventional, storytelling, you are made feel guilty about what you are bringing in a newness to the craft.
Right. Yeah.
You are in pressure. Yeah. You are always like a threat. What is this guy doing? Why we are not being able to, either you should come and serve our conventional storytelling, or you are an outsider, you are creating a kind of disturbance.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not just in acting, in about everything. I feel a lot of times here that you have to go somewhere outside and get the respect, and then you will get to do what you want to do here. Is that your experience?
No, I think it's the audience which really felt nice about a person from their country getting recognition there, but not the industry. Industry only react to the business. If you do a business, if your film do business in the local market, only then you are recognized. Yeah. So they only react to business. That's sometimes it's a limitation for anybody. It's not an encouragement.
So now we know you. Most of the people know you only through the characters that you play, which are most often very deep, very serious. So, is there a lighter side to Irfan Khan? I mean, is there a goofy side to Irfan Khan? Or are you your characters?
I keep doing it, time to time, like Piku I did. Or,
right, yeah.
But I'm more drawn towards lighter side of life. You know, it's just that, you know, I didn't have choice. That's why I kept on doing all these films.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy intense.
But as a person, what are you? What's your idea of having fun?
I am drawn to humor. I'm drawn to lightness, you know, not the usual intense stuff. You know, it bores me completely. You know, I run away.
So if you weren't doing films, if you want to hang out with a bunch of friends and not discuss, like, you know, some storyline or something of that sort, what are the sort of things you like to do?
Anything, you know. I like sports, physical sports. I love to play physical sports wherever. Sometimes, you know, we used to play, I used to have cricket bat and kites in my, you know, back of the car. Whenever I used to get chance, you know, we used to just go down and play. Yeah. Earlier, I used to, you know, I used to stop my car at the street and I used to play with you know, on Sundays in town, people play cricket on roads.
Yeah.
So I love physical sports. I love adventure in forest. Forest is something, you know, which just, it creates a spell on me. It's like, you know, I forget the language when I go to forest. And it just put me into a deep silence. And it's a kind of high which I get. I think it's my childhood, because my father used to take me to forest in my childhood, and I'm deeply connected to forest. But not the way conventionally people go to forest, where you are sitting in a vehicle and you are looking at the animals as an outsider. Oh, he's there, oh, there. I don't enjoy that. I only enjoy when I go in the forest, the way the animals are. You should be exactly in the same level, where, you know, you shouldn't be in a vehicle. You should, you know, just walk around and see.
Yeah.
And that gives you an adventure, you know. That when you encounter an animal and you are equal, that is kind of experience which can't be matched.
Yeah.
You know.
So
and by chance, if you see the tiger at that time.
But that was going to be my question, that what do you do?
Yeah, I swear, that is an experience.
Has it happened to you?
Yes.
So what happened?
You will feel that, you know, your knees are, you know, they are made up of water. And that is an experience.
Yeah.
And
but has it happened to you when you went in a forest walk?
Many
so
times.
Tell me about it. What happened?
There are some buffer jungles, you know, buffer forest of Jim Corbett.
Right.
I don't want to tell the exact location because of, you know, so many things. And they are still pristine forest, you know, they are still untouched. Although poachers, you know, they find out things about it, but it's still, you know, they are forests like, you see a tree which has fallen down 20 years back, they're still there, it's getting decayed, and you see that there's not many people come there. Mm-hmm. In those kind of forests, when you go, and you know that, you know, after 5 meters, you don't know what is there. It's so dense.
Yeah.
So when you go there, and when you're walking around, you know, on the river bank, and you don't know what is there. Suddenly, you know, we were there, and a guy from, local guy was with us, and he just has one stick, that's it. And there was a mound, and after that there was a deep inside. And as we, you know, climbed on that mound, like, you know, 10 meters away, there was this tiger, and suddenly growled. It growled, but because, you know, what happens when the tiger is there, he first, you know, he warns you, then growls. Then when you are too close, then he attacks with fright. You know, he doesn't attack because of, you know, because, you know, he's basically trying to save himself. Yeah. So, unfortunately, you know, the distance was too close. So he suddenly growled and he started growling. And then this guy panicked. The guy who was with us, the local guy,
the expert.
Panicked. Yeah, expert. He panicked and he started growling at him.
Oh.
And he growled in a, you know, he just shouted desperately, because he knew if you know, this is something, you know, we have gone, you know, we have crossed the limit.
Too close for comfort.
Too close, because we didn't know. And then suddenly, you know, he backed up and he went away.
So is that the answer? You have to start growling if you see...
I think you have to, you shouldn't go, you shouldn't take away your eyes.
Yeah.
And, you have to face him.
Yeah.
And,
so did we make all of you start growling, or it just...
No, we didn't know, no. He's the expert, he just growled and we were,
Just watching.
Just watching, and after, even for 6-7 hours, it was a kind of, strange, blood pressure which was going on, and, I could...
So did you go back again into such a forest, or?
Oh yes, and also because it's the most beautiful and most shy animal.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful animal. You have to see it in its, and it doesn't disturb. It's when a human being starts disturbing the forest, he goes away.
Right.
He lives in a forest which is pure and pristine. Yeah. When you start doing, manipulation in the forest, he leaves that forest.
Yeah.
He's such a shy and beautiful animal.
Yeah. So, Irfan, what's next for you? What's your next movie, or are you going to buy a sports team, or what what's next for you?
I want to play first, I don't know how to own a sports team. I would love to play. We can play here right now,
What would you like to play? Soccer or what?
Yeah, soccer. We call football here. Yeah. From football to kabaddi to kho-kho to, cricket, anything, badminton to anything, which shakes your body.
Right. Maybe we should auction a game with Irfan to raise some money for the next charity.
Yeah, I was saying, let's make a league of what do you call here, Lagori.
Yeah, okay.
I think they haven't really thought about it. It could be a very entertaining television game.
Yeah, I think we should produce that now,
Let's see.
So do you have, as parting words, what are you doing? What is the next movie? What is the next journey? Which country are you going off to?
I have just finished a film called Inferno, which is a third series in that Da Vinci Code series.
Right.
Written by Dan Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I happened to work with a fantastic team. I had a great experience doing that. And
one of the few actors turned directors who's been really...
I spoke to him about this, and he said, I was not as creative as an actor.
Yeah.
That's why, I stopped doing acting. Because I could see that I'm not adding creatively to the craft. Mm-hmm. And, the kind of story he has told, it's excellent, outstanding.
Yeah.
And the kind of human being he is, it's a pleasure to be with these kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and after that, are you taking rest for a bit, or are you off to the next film?
No, I'm still, see, the thing is, at one point of time, I started my career as an actor because I was looking for acknowledgement. First, I was looking for acknowledgement from my mother. When I didn't get it, I started looking, outside of my, surroundings. And that somehow manifested into, becoming an actor that, I thought actor, basically it was for acknowledgement. And then through, after drama school and, after many years, I came to know this is not acknowledgement. It is an experience, which you share with the audience, and that becomes your, wealth. That is the most important thing. When you do a story, you pour in your life and you make that thing, that story an experience for the audience, and that becomes an experience for the audience. And that sharing is something which is so precious, you cannot match that kind of thing. Okay. So that is something, very, very special to me as an actor.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't plan, I rely on how nature, nudges you, and you follow that and, see what's going to happen.
Great.